of that stuff, but I've focused on Civil War and World War II and Vietnam and the American Revolution now because they're so instructive about human behavior. Bad, of course, but also really good. These ennobling ideas that we've been talking about, first ever, which is why I feel comfortable saying it's the most important event in world history since the birth of Christ, and yet the violence is unnecessary, and certainly political violence is unnecessary, and certainly reactive violence. Well, that because they did that, then we have to do that, and you realize that. It's like the Old Testament, an eye for an eye, and you realize you keep going with that and everybody's blind.
Yeah, everybody has a seeing eye dog or something. It's getting, go back to that rally. I just want to even read who was there. I just want to even know a little bit about it. I just saw videos of this and it blew my mind. I think a lot of, what I liked about this is it's people showing up for something, right?
Yes.
It's people in the streets.
Well, they're expressing what they're allowed to do.
Right.
And that's what in a democratic society, which Britain is, you get a chance to, as our First Amendment says, the government will establish no religion. You have freedom of the press and freedom of assembly. You have the ability to, these are the hallmarks, the number one thing. After the Constitution was done, everybody said, whoa, time out. We've got a Constitution, we got an operating manual, but we're not going to go forward in this unless we get a Bill of Rights that tells us what, that enshrines the things we just fought for, things we just died for. There's one, the Saving Private Ryan story of, sons are dying. It's based on a true story where a woman, I think from Iowa, whose last name is Sullivan, lost 4 sons in a battleship that went down, and the Department of War said, we're now going to separate everybody, all the brothers. Rebecca Tanner, a Mohegan woman, meaning probably Connecticut, lost 5 sons, not 4, but 5 sons fighting for the patriot cause. This is a Native American woman. So you realize that's the sacrifice that people have made in order for us to be able to hold a demonstration, express our point of view nonviolently, and to be able to tolerate lots of ideas. I mean, you can't say, we're only going to tolerate our ideas and everybody else who doesn't agree with us are therefore bad. I mean, across the street from us on 23rd Street in New York City, where we are right now, is the headquarters of the Communist Party of the United States that has as much right to its office space as the Republican National Committee or the Democratic National Committee. Doesn't it? In a country in which all ideas are free?
Is the head of the Communist Party?
The American Communist Party has its headquarters across the street. And they have had their headquarters there for decades and decades and decades.
Well, what's funny to me, Ken, is that it feels like just being a regular American that's hopeful, you're almost a communist these days in our own country.
Well,
that's, you know what I'm saying? That idea, that's what I think is interesting about these, let me just start here. The Unite the Kingdom rally was a massive, and this says far-right demonstration held in London on September 13th, 2025, organized by anti-immigrant activist Tommy Robinson. The event attracted between 110,000 and 150,000 people, making one of the largest protests in British history. The rally was billed as a free speech festival,
right,
and the demonstration featured chants like, "We want our country back." What I think is interesting about this, it's people who have a set of beliefs and ideals of what British life is, right? And history is to them, and that they want to speak out for it, right? That's one thing that I thought was pretty cool,
That this is the democratic right.
Right.
I remember when I was growing up.
It's people tweeting with their feet, right? I said this the other day in a conversation, but it's like, it's not people sitting in the fucking background yelling stuff or screaming or, but it's people who are actually out, right? And this to me is always inspiring because you're putting your face out there with your voice, right? And you're putting your feet out there with your voice, and that to me feels like a real tweet.
They could be left wing, they could be right wing.
I agree.
They could be immigrants saying we're as much Britons as, and any of that is possible within a peaceful context.
Yeah. And it's people that like, people get an idea of what a culture is, right?
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, Britain was predominantly white, probably, I would guess, until they took in slaves and Native Americans. I'm not